Here's something that might surprise you. The average UK living room is now 32% smaller than homes built in the 1970s, yet we're still trying to stuff them with furniture designed for much larger spaces.
That's such a striking statistic. How are people managing to adapt to these shrinking spaces?
Well, it's fascinating because we're seeing this complete shift in how furniture manufacturers are responding. The data shows that sales of compact and modular sofas have increased by 47% in just the last 3 years. It's like watching evolution happen in real time, but with furniture.
Those numbers really paint a picture of how our living spaces are changing. What's driving this trend towards smaller spaces?
It's actually a perfect storm of factors. Urban population density has increased by 21% in major UK cities over the last decade. Property prices have shot up by nearly 160% since 2000, and developers are building more units in smaller footprints. But here's what's really interesting. Studies show that well-designed small spaces can actually improve mental well-being compared to poorly organized larger rooms.
Hmm, that's fascinating about the mental well-being aspect. What specific design elements make the biggest impact?
So research from interior design specialists shows that sofas with legs that create about 15 to 20 centimeters of visible space underneath can make a room feel up to 20% more spacious. And get this, rooms with furniture pulled just 7 to 10 centimeters away from walls are perceived as significantly larger than those with furniture pushed right against them.
Well, that certainly challenges the conventional wisdom about maximizing space. What other misconceptions are you seeing people struggle with?
Oh man, where do I even start? The biggest one has to be about corner sofas. People often think they're only for large rooms, but our analysis shows that a well-chosen corner sofa can actually save up to 30% of floor space compared to traditional seating arrangements. And here's something really cool. Manufacturers are now designing corner sofas specifically for small spaces, with slimmer profiles and optimized angles.
That's exactly the kind of innovation we need to see more of. What about materials and colours? How do they factor into making these smaller spaces work?
So this is where the science gets really interesting. Studies on light reflection show that matte finishes in warm neutral tones can increase perceived room brightness by up to 25%. And when it comes to fabric choice, experts have found that textiles with a subtle sheen can make a space feel up to 15% larger.
Those percentages really drive home how much impact these seemingly small choices can have. What other practical solutions are you seeing people implement successfully?
Well, one of the most effective strategies I've seen is what designers call the negative space ratio. Basically, ensuring that about 30% of your visual field remains empty. This means choosing sofas with slimmer arms, typically 10 to 12 centimeters wide, instead of the standard 20 to 25 centimeters. That small change alone can save nearly half a meter of space width-wise.
Those measurements really put things into perspective. How are manufacturers responding to these changing needs?
It's actually pretty exciting. We're seeing a whole new category of what they're calling smart size furniture. These pieces are designed with things like hidden storage compartments that can hold up to 40 liters of space and modular components that can be reconfigured in up to 6 different ways. Some manufacturers are even using AI to optimize their designs for small spaces.
That technological integration into furniture design is fascinating. What trends do you see emerging for the future?
The future is looking really interesting. Market research suggests that by 2025, about 60% of urban UK furniture will be specifically designed for spaces under 40 square meters. We're also seeing the rise of what they're calling flex furniture, pieces that can serve multiple functions without looking like obvious convertible furniture.
Speaking of multiple functions, how are people balancing comfort with practicality in these smaller spaces?
That's where the real innovation is happening. Recent surveys show that 78% of people prioritize comfort over style, but they don't have to choose anymore. New manufacturing techniques mean that slimmer profiles can still incorporate the same amount of padding as traditional sofas. And some companies are even using aerospace-grade materials to create ultra-thin but super comfortable cushioning.
Those advances in material science are really changing the game. What final advice would you give to someone trying to furnish a small space?
The data really points to three key factors. First, measure everything twice, including doorways and stairs, since 23% of furniture returns are due to access issues. Second, consider the visual weight. Lighter-looking pieces can make a room feel up to 30% more spacious. And finally, don't rush. Studies show that people who spend at least 3 weeks researching their furniture choices are 65% more likely to be satisfied with their purchase long term.
That satisfaction statistic really drives home the importance of taking your time with these decisions.
Exactly right. And remember, we're seeing a real shift in how people think about small spaces. They're not just making do anymore. They're creating intentional, well-designed rooms that actually work better than larger, less thoughtfully planned spaces. It's not about the size of the room. It's about how intelligently you use it.